platoon goofballs are waiting outside for SMG4 to pick them up for a road trip, and he arrives in style. They are planning to go to a special spot as Ford describes, and they drive away after he gives them a little tour. Mario and Maggie try playing games to pass the time, but end up fighting with each other and annoying their driver. One peek at the Golden Argus later, they asked him to stop McDonald's for grub, and Ford begrudgingly gives them what they want after a montage of Tesla-style driving. Forgetting to use the drive-thru causes them to go inside, and he notices the RV getting stolen by two familiar faces. Ford gets upset, and his friends are for screwing up at the trip and leaving him on the streets again. Remorsefully, Mario and Maggie search for the vehicle to bring it back from the thieves in the desert. They spot the RV, recognizing it was taken by Walter and Jesse, who seem to have duped up on popcorn chips once they battle for the vehicle. Mario calls his brother, the Heinsberger memes, to beat up the phony dealers, successfully reclaiming the RV. Ford wakes up on the street, happy to see they got his home back. The duo apologizes for jeopardizing the journey. He finally takes them to his destination, a chicken restaurant, implying the glitching team had something planned for April Fools after all. They rush inside to have a real meal, while Gustavo watches maniacally looking forward to taking over McDonald's. I mean, anything that could give the tasteless monopoly true competition is fine by me. 9 out of 10. SMG4 fighting while the Tom and Jerry siblings outwit each other and resolve the problem they made. It's just like chaos with good jokes here and there, though I wish the scenes when they run the road trip went harder or faster. Mario and Maggie, despite driving their own companion, say made up for it by fixing their mistake. Reminiscent of the regular show episode Busted Cart, where they wrecked their own vehicle and had to get it fixed by driving to a faraway dealership. It was also cool to see Luigi aid his friends in letting SMG4 keep the RV, proving in this world he's the real Heisenberg. Sadly, Ford didn't do much, aside from being the butt of jokes, seeing through his friends being toddlers like he was their dad and getting his ride stolen. Still, this is a very solid video, even if certain groups are too stupid to recognize that it is. Kinda like inspiration for this next video.
This couldn't have worked out any better. There was a guy eating lunch in here who didn't finish his spaghetti. Oh, also, Tom and Lucy are totally gonna fall in love. 5-second rule!
Ford and Mario are driving to the theater to watch the film of the year. Hold on a second, if Mario has to go see his own movie by paying for a ticket, that doesn't mean he wasn't allowed at the premiere? Me thinks she in this universe is living up to Father of the Year by forgetting about inviting his own creations. Anyway, they get stuck by a flock of gnomes crossing the street. The impatient gets to the paisano as usual, urging him to BOGJ his way to get there faster. He instead makes Sonic jealous, warping through dimensions, landing him in a universe very similar to his own, and bumping into another Mario. He ignores the implication of knocking out his clone, as Luigi arrives to pick him up for a plumbing job. They lure into a Chemix trap and are flung into a pipe, with Mario landing in what he thinks he is home. Toad shows up, taking him to another version of Mushroom Kingdom, proceeding to wreak havoc and getting caught by Peach. Instead of imprisoning him, she tells him her brother has been captured by Bowser, who is planning to take over the kingdom, and that he could use his absurdity to take him out. However, the spaghetti plate that is also in the cage is what naps his attention. He proceeds to take Toad on his journey. They go to the DK Island, where Mario has to fight the leader of the DK crew in order to help defeat the King of Koopas. Victorious, they all drive to Shabo's castle, but are bombarded by his army along the way. At the destination, Bowser is about to unleash the star's power, but Mario takes care of it, feeding him in a chicken nugget, restoring him to his true self. The party cuts short when Darth Vader thwacks him into the lava, revealing himself to be none other than Andy Dwyer. Mario goes one-on-one with his doppelganger, then Luigi throws him the star, making him blow up the universe, and goes back to his own. Back at the RV, they finally arrived at the cinema to go watch the actual flick. 7 out of 10. An intentional deconstruction of the franchise to celebrate the release of true adaptation. It's an ordinary movie parody that uses the trailers for reference to avoid using the entire plot, so if you're yet to see the real thing, you don't have to worry about spoilers. His premise, quality-wise, is exactly like the film, where isn't it exactly amazing, but completely fine what it is. Too bad the website that promoted Cuties didn't see that, though they're largely been irrelevant for real movie criticism since. Speaking of irrelevant, we saw the actual Peach building a rocket to get herself out of the hole. To anyone who thinks Glitch is abandoning the Mario brand, you can explain that without using money reference. A more interesting idea for the episode will be if Mario and company weren't allowed to go to the premiere for their own movie and shenanigans ensue. I'm sure it would be impossible for anyone to mess that up. Yep, totally impossible. But I'm so happy with that. We got what we got, both from this episode and the Mario movie. Moving on. SMG4's RV breaks down in the middle of the road and immediately gets hassled by a gang of Teletubbies who take the vehicle. In range, his last resort is going to his emergency cash stash to finally buy his friends a new hangout. Heading over to Tom Nook's real estate agency, he finds Boopkins working there by order of his dad to gain job experience. 4 asks him which properties are for sale, and they take a tour showcasing them, including the place they saw get destroyed. Boopkins, we love you, but you're an idiot. They set on a place called the Showgrounds, an abandoned carnival, thinking they could use the area to build a castle. Nook doesn't hesitate with their decision by taking his money. Later, he gathers the gang to introduce them to the new place. They're extremely impressed, and then they outline what they can insert in the area. But they ran into the same Teletubbies that robbed the RV. Before they could engage in another smackdown, Bookins interrupts, believing they could settle things differently. They do just that with an auction held by Swag. As the bids escalate, 3 secures the deal by running over the custard lovers with a vehicle. Mario reinstates that community violence is an accepted solution, despite what Swag claims under the Hell Site's orders. 4 plans to start construction, but he had spent the last of his money. Yet it doesn't stop the game from brainstorming blueprints for their future home, including Mario where he could apply his door dong fetish. 7 out of 10, a laid-back story of introducing the game's future home. Although acceptably decent, this video still leaves enough room for more interesting events, such as complete feud between them and the Teletubbies. Foreign bookings net the character highlights in the showgrounds appears to have potential for the show's new hub, diving into world building for an insane version of the Mario universe. The area itself presents a chunk of the mystery being abandoned amusement park, and that list included TV icons similar to the mascot shown in the recent movie. The same one who sold Ford the evil keyboard. Man, with everybody that wants to hunt down the gang every other season, at this rate they'll never be allowed to rest. Which is nothing short of a saint. So let's keep the insanity going with this next episode.
Sweet! A circus! Let's sneak in! That's using your noodle.
The gang are trying to have fun at the showgrounds, bored out of their minds, so they come up with ideas to get funding for construction, or decides on a fundraiser circus using the props he spawns. At first, they're hesitant, but accept it, and start preparing their acts. Melanie is struggling with ideas for her own act without copying her friends, and after failing to assist them, finding a puppet that the Presso threw out, she settles on ventriloquism, and hopefully that thing isn't cursed or an immature asshole that torments anyone for laughs. At nighttime, the show begins with the Spaghetti Bros featuring Mario riding a unicycle and Luigi juggling. Then there's Bob Boopkins being Daredevils, and Miggy and Tardy taming lions. None of the acts turn out great, making the event a flop, but Manly savages the show with her puppet telling Cube's favorite joke. The audience vanishes, leaving their savings behind, and the gang cheer for her. But it turns out they only have enough earnings for furniture. It's a baby step, but a step in the right direction, nonetheless. That's showbiz, folks. 7 out of 10, a jolly fine show that could have gone all out. We don't know how far away they are from their goal at this point. If the crew are still planning on the design of the new castle, the video's pacing is fine, but the beginning of the video felt like filler, since the plot deserved more focus on the circus itself, without Melanie's subplot overtaking it. The best thing this video does is the characters' balanced screen time, but the amount of jokes leaves a lot to be desired. I'm not saying it's a mediocre or perfectly average. 7 out of 10 usually mean it's possible to expand on the premise. Anything above average should have been taken with a grain of salt, instead of making a big stink over it. But who am I kidding? Middle grounds are practically a myth today. Anytime, time to finish this reviews.
Luigi, it's the rapture. I've been a good Christian, Luigi. I'm going to heaven.
Mario, you remember that time you put spaghetti in my overalls as a prank?
Uh-oh. No!
Mario visits the hangout, finding Luigi standing menacingly. He realizes that's not his real brother when he starts mauling him and runs to the gang, warning them. Now Luigi catches up and starts massacring on the group until 4 and 3 tie him up. Tari answers that she last saw the real Italian entering a portable toilet, so the Mimos in their avatar tag along to find him, while the rest put the cursed plumber in his place. They warp into Peach's castle, but significantly altered to resemble the original by aesthetic alone, implying the same universe aren't far away from the land of memes. Within a dollar store Bob battlefield, they're confronted by a demonic Mario clone who immediately attacks them for trespassing, promoting the trio to escape in another portal. They land in the pursuit of hazy maze, hearing Luigi's cry, thinking they must be getting close. Scared shitless, they hum the tune to keep their mood in check until the monster shows up again. Taking refuge in another painting, they finally spot Luigi in an alternate castle hall. He explains that the Presto threw a cursed Mario 64 cartridge into the toilet he was about to use, switching places with his evil counterpart. Mario.exe harasses them again, but the plumbers return to their world. The others are pinned down by the evil Green Man, about to finish Miggy off, but they arrive just in time. The evil plumbers reveal themselves to be brothers and are happily reunited, going back to their own realm. Luigi compliments their brotherhood, but Mario reminds him now is not the time for sunshine and rainbows, since their friends were nearly torn to shreds. 7.5 out of 10. Basically, Luigi is missing with a dash of creepy spaghetti. I was never a big fan of creepypasta or personalized phenomenon from ages ago, but yet again, this is a fine episode. Mario and the Guardians were my favorite part of the video, but the themes around them felt pretty underwhelming. The idea of a cursed version of the Mario universe is nothing groundbreaking, especially when horror is no stranger to the series at this point. But that doesn't mean it was unnecessary. It's a little distracting that fake Mario has his own design, but his bro looks exactly the same as real Luigi. I think this guy would have helped him make him more distinct. Speaking of whom, the twist wasn't that funny. When it was revealed, he only wanted to find his bro after almost game-ending the SMG4 game for no real reason. I get the show is known for using sadistic humor every now and then, honestly to the point of rubbing off the audience in a bad way, but holy hell. Luckily, I move on from that stuff super quickly, so that's what's done is done, I suppose. Another month, another batch of videos, and I'm worried of running out of stuff say at the end. Please remember to be good to one another and avoid running into jerks online and in real life. Stay safe out while having a great day, and as always, peace out.
for his nice work in at Chernobyl on April 26, 1986.